Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Switching Stances. I'm one of your hosts, Tyler, joined by my good friend, my good buddy, Ollie, aka Gaz. How's it going, mate?
It's going well now. I've been ill. I've been quite ill for a while.
Yeah.
I had some fucked up respiratory thing.
Yeah. It's been a while. It's been a while.
It's been a minute.
We've been here. You've been unwell. I've
Yep.
had a bit going on as well. The last one we did was bloody Sean O'Malley winning the belt at UFC 292. We missed 293 altogether. I was overseas at the time. I didn't even watch it. I still actually haven't watched the full fight of Izzy and Sean. I haven't seen it.
That's surprising.
I just haven't sat down to watch it. I've seen highlights, I've seen plenty of clips, but I just haven't sat down and watched the event. Haven't really had the time, to be, fully honest. As I was saying, I was overseas, and then November 25th, I was saying to Gaz off air, was the date in my head I was going to be fighting next, and that gave me 10 weeks from getting back from holidays, get back in full shape, be ready to go again. I'm actually fighting, well, at the time this comes out, this weekend, but it's next weekend right now. It's Thursday, the week before UFC 294. And yeah, October 21st, I'm fighting. I have a Muay Thai fight. So, I've just been pretty much straight into training camp as soon as I got home from holidays. So it's been about a 5.5 week, 6 week training camp. And it's been much better than, my last one at this time. Opponent hasn't pulled out like the last time. We've got an opponent. Yeah, it's true. Touch wood. But I've got an opponent. My health's good. I don't have any serious injuries. Every training camp you've got bruises, bumps, niggles, things like that. But overall, I feel really good mentally. Best I've ever felt. Physically, best I've ever felt. Fitness-wise, best I've ever been. So we've just leveled up heaps from the last camp and feeling fucking fantastic, to be totally honest with you. And just excited. There's no fear, no worries, no stress. I'm just like super pumped and excited to get in there and scrap and fight. I love this shit. So that's sort of where we've been, because obviously I've got a full-time job. I've got other commitments. I've got friends, family, girlfriend, things going on. And with camp as well, like I work all day and then I train all evening. I get home 7:30, 8 to 8:30 at night. And then I'm like, I got to eat the good meal. And then you need some downtime to like recuperate, and also sleep. Super important at the moment with camp. So I'm like trying to sleep more, go to bed earlier, do all those sorts of things. I'm just trying to leave, no stone unturned sort of stuff, Gaz, is where we're at the moment. So that's where I've been. You've been ill. We've tried to record a couple of times. Hasn't happened.
Yeah.
We tried to record on Tuesday, because we want to be. I can't record next week to preview UFC 294. This will come out at that time, but I said fight week. I'm just going to be focusing on that, no recording. But recording early. We're going to record on Tuesday. Thank fucking Jesus Christ we didn't, because we'd be back here right now anyway, having to re-record it, because Wednesday, shit just absolutely fell apart. Or Tuesday evening, I guess, in the States, but Wednesday morning in Australia, UFC 294, the whole landscape totally changed, Gaz. So thank God.
Yeah, it was, about 3 a.m. for me? I've been up quite late. I've been playing Final Fantasy 7 and sort of talking to James and stuff. And so I've just been up late anyway.
Unbelievable. What a dweeb. What a nerd, bro.
Yeah, I've not played a game in so long, but I was just at a stream and he got me to play it. So I'm going through that.
Yeah.
But
yeah. How else have you been? What else has been going on?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine now. I've had a fucking skin infection from jiu-jitsu. Yeah. Some guy just came in with a skin infection.
If you have a skin infection, if you have illness, if you're sick, don't train.
No.
Don't fuck off.
That's what I've been doing. Which has been shit I've not liked.
Yeah. I don't want to get sick. Fuck off. Get fucked.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at as well. It's been frustrating. And I'm away in Brighton this whole week. So I'm not going to be back until like Tuesday.
What a place. What a fantastic place.
Yeah, it's really nice. I'm going like later in the day today. and I'm back here on Monday. So
yeah, okay. I just got back from Hawaii with my partner, and we've been planning next year's trip, and we want to do obviously the UK. So she can meet all my friends, you and all my, great group of friends I have over there.
Me and all your friends. But they're separate things.
All my friends. Separate things. Yeah. You're not my friend. You're
no,
just, a means to an end.
Yeah.
To what end, I don't know. Yeah, so that'll be great. But then want to do Italy, want to do Ireland, want to do maybe Greece, and maybe one other country, maybe Spain, Germany, I don't know. I'd love to go to Madrid. But
so you want to do
there's a lot
Europe?
Of places I want to go. What's that?
So you want to do like wider Europe then?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd love to go to Madrid would be amazing, but I'd love to go to Munich as well. Like, there's just so many places I'd love to go to, but it's just more of a financial thing. So that's more what's got to be worked out, timing with work, and then that. But when we talk about the UK, there's a place I want to go, and Brighton somewhere I always want to go back to. I was there around this time last year. Can't believe it's been a year since we were all together last, but Brighton's an awesome place. I really, really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's super nice.
But just southern England, great countryside.
Yeah.
Good people. Not the dirty English from up north.
I will refrain from saying that.
I'm joking.
It's quite different if I say that.
It's fucking banter. Yeah, it is different if you say it. I'm just fucking around. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Glad you're feeling better. I hope this skin infection gets down, and then you need to tell people to fuck off if they're coming to be like, I've got a skin infection. Do you mind?
Yeah, well, that wasn't how it happened. We rolled, and then afterwards, I noticed he had a bandage on, which came off. Yeah. And I was like, oh, are you hurt? Like, I hope I haven't been, like, tugging on an injury or anything. I would have, taken that into consideration when we were rolling if I'd known. And he was like, oh, no, it's just a skin infection.
Dude, fuming. I'm losing it.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that's annoying, but, whatever. It is what it is.
Didn't say anything to him?
Well, I was just like...
Bro, you've got to say something. You've got to say something next time.
I was so tired, and I was also like, I'll probably be fine. Mate, like, realistically...
That sounds like
he downplayed it a lot. He was like, oh, it's like a really minor thing at this point. Like, it's just a courtesy, really. Which is funny, looking back.
It is funny, because you've got a skin infection now. This is just a lesson, is all I'm saying. Because you've got to educate these people, because by that point it's too late. But at least you can prevent it for someone else in the future. You've got to educate people. If you're in an MMA gym, if you're in a martial arts gym or a contact sport, fuck off. If you've got staph infections, skin infections, any sort of infection, fuck off. Stay off the mats. Don't be giving it to people. You're literally skin to skin. He's got a skin infection, and he's doing a sport that's skin to skin.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you need to be told. It's like when people go too hard in sparring to you get to a sparring session, and it's one thing when you're with like a fight team, but it's a different thing when you're in the general area. Like a lot of gyms work this way where you're like, with our gym, we have the fighters up in the ring and stuff, and we're going, quite serious, quite hard rounds, but all experienced guys. Rotating through, and then on the match you'll just have whoever trains and as a member of the gym that can spar with each other, and it's pretty light for in terms of sparring. And sometimes you see guys come in and they are way bigger and they go super hard on like these young guys that are like could be teenagers, early 20s, but they're a lot smaller and less experienced. And every time when people come up to me and go, oh yeah, he went a bit hard, straight away I'm saying something to them, even if it wasn't to me, because I'm like, you don't have to be nasty, but you got to say something to people when they go too hard, because you got to look after each other. And it's the same with skin infections, staph infections, anything like that. It's a team sport at the end of the day. Like, it takes each other to do it. You can't train by yourself effectively.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, you've got to look after each other. If you fuck with your training partners, you're not going to get any better.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, it's just frustrating because I've now been out for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, that pisses me off, Gaz. That stuff really fucking grinds my gears.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not been super fun.
Yeah.
But I'm alright now. I've sort of, I don't know, my sleep's all fucked up because of being ill plus this, and just I've just been sort of, I've had nothing to really.
Always fucked up. I feel like, what is it with you guys over there? No, none of you get good sleep.
Yeah, you are right. I don't know. I mean, with James,
of all our friends, I mean, James, it's fucking horrific.
I think James was awake until like 10 today. Editing.
10 a.m.
10 a.m. Yeah, 10 a.m.
What's he editing? What's he doing?
Spider-Man. This Spider-Man video is killing him slowly. He's having a real mare.
What is it? Is it a preview to 2?
Just like a PS4 retrospective.
Of course he is. Just such a.
It's current. I think it's like multiple hours long. I don't know.
Why? It doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. It's absurd. James, stop it. Stop that. You can make the same money half the length and save your life.
Yeah, it's true. But I don't know how many more videos. I think he's got like 2 more videos planned for the year, and then he's gonna try and not overdo it. And he's not doing advent calendar this year.
Oh, yeah. Like, for a guy that loves Christmas, he also loves to ruin it for himself every year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's a guy that loves Christmas. Enjoy it, James. But every year he goes, you know what? I'm going to fucking make myself miserable for all of December.
I don't know if you classic. I can't remember if you were over, but we all went to Northampton specifically to see James and Elva at one point. Went to the Brampton
That was
Hall.
Christmas. I wasn't there. I remember you saying this.
Yeah. We all went specifically for him, and he was like 2 hours late because he was editing an advent calendar thing.
Yeah. I remember this. Because I'd just been over.
Yeah. It was that Christmas, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I do remember. Classic, though. Classic. Anyway. Enough about our friends that everyone listening doesn't know.
I reckon.
Most people listening.
Yeah,
There's
some of them will.
4 pillars echoes going on, surely.
Yeah.
Anyway. Anywho. On to MMA that's absolutely insane. Mm-hmm. There's a few things going on. We said earlier, UFC 294, if we recorded 2 days ago like we planned, we would have fucking had to re-record anyway. Because Charles Oliveira against Islam Makhachev, the rematch for the lightweight title, not happening. Finished. Finito. Off. Charles Oliveira, last sparring session at camp, gets his eye cut open, injured, out of the fight. Insert the GOAT. Pound for pound. Number 1. The pride of this great nation that is Australia. The one, the only, undisputed featherweight champion of this world, Alexander the Great Volkanovski, steps in on 11 days' notice
to defend his title.
To defend his lightweight title, his double champ status, against the former champion, Islam Makhachev, who he beat unanimously.
Yeah.
In Perth at UFC 289. I don't fucking know. What was it? 284? I don't know. So it was fucking one of the first podcasts we did.
Yeah.
Of the year.
Yeah.
I should know. I should definitely know. Yeah. Yeah, it was. It really was. It was the first one we did was the preview. Episode 2 was the review.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, UFC 284.
84, wow.
And now at UFC 294.
Yeah.
And the rematch happens 10 events later. Volk's 3rd fight of the year. Just what a guy. Let's just start here. We'll get to, obviously, the co-main also changed this morning when I woke up. I was at lunch on Wednesday. It was 3 a.m. for you. And I'd seen rumors. And then McMalley goes, shout at MMA Twitter, shout at McMalley, said that he'd called someone and they'd said it was true. Because I thought it was some bullshit article saying Charles out, Alec Volk's in. I was like, no way. Because it had been literally tweeted 9 minutes before. And then I went to lunch. And then you text me. And when I realized that you'd messaged me, I knew it was true.
Yeah.
I was like, I gasped audibly. And I was like, it's happening. It's happening. And I was at lunch with my girlfriend, and she's like, "What?" Like, she thought we were having a pretty serious
discussion. Family tragedy.
Like, and she thought something had happened. And I go, no. Volk's stepping in for the belt next weekend, babe. And she just rolled her eyes and laughed. And she goes, "That's really exciting." I was like, fucking oath it is.
Yeah.
Fucking oath it is. The greatest of all time, Alex Volkanovski. Biggest balls all time, Alex Volkanovski. Steps in. Personally, my feelings are excited. I'm ecstatic. I went from sort of not giving a fuck at all about this card, mostly because I'm fighting next weekend. And it's no favorite fighters of mine are on this card or anything. Like, I like Charles. I like his. I don't care.
I like Charles
really.
A lot. But also, yeah.
Like, I had other things to worry about. Now I'm like, fuck my fight. The GOAT's fighting. You know what I mean? Like,
That's
I don't
concerning.
even, who cares? Will I even show up? I don't even know. You know what I mean? Like, what does it matter? If, no, I'm joking. The more horrid thing is, it's 4 a.m. the main card starts the night after, the Sunday morning. I'm fighting Saturday. And then Sunday morning, I got to get 4 a.m. I'm thinking, because I'll be celebrating a great victory of just absolutely gone through the whole night plastered, pounding fucking 4Xs and every Australian beer into the earth, and then draping myself in Australian flags, getting ready for redemption, really. To right a wrong, Gaz. To right a wrong that happened early this year and finish the year where he belongs, which is completely and independently atop the mountain of pound for pound number one, greatest of all time, champion, double, deuce of the UFC. Gaz, you aren't feeling the same way I'm feeling. You've got a lot of fucking fear and worry and doubt going on, and I don't know if I fucking like it, to be totally honest with you.
I always have fear and doubt when Volk fights, and I think it's just a coping mechanism for the day that something does happen. The day that he doesn't look exceptional, I think my coping mechanism is just to assume in my heart of hearts that it's going to go wrong. I think for the Yair fight, I knew that Volk should really smush him into the ground. But Yair is also...
by God, did he not also do it even worse than you thought?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There was, I think, round 2, I was just like, okay, we're all right.
Yeah.
I'm like, once he took him down the second time and beat the fuck out of him, I think I realised, like, okay, we're set.
Yeah.
We're all right.
Yeah.
And then he knocked him out on the feet.
I feel like I'm the only one that just believes Volk always. Like, when he fought Islam the first time, I was telling everyone that would fucking listen to me, I was like, he's going to get up from the takedowns. I promise you. I promise you he's going to get up. I fucking guarantee he's going to get up. Like, I was like, I'm backing him. He's beaten Islam. I just believe. Because every time he talks, I'm like, I believe you, bro. He never proves me wrong. And even though, technically, he lost, a decision. I thought he won. A lot of people thought he won. But, yes, I get that. But I also felt like I was proven right as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Everyone that I was watching with, I watched with my mates, Jared Nash, the reactions there. They both said to me, first round, Islam's, they were just like, it's not going to go well. And I'm like, guys, I don't know what you're talking about. And then, like, halfway through, Jared's like, I'm fucking believing. And I was like, I told you. And he's like, I don't know why I'm so much more nervous. Usually you're more nervous, Tyler. And I said, it's because I knew, bro. It's because I fucking knew. That's how I feel, Gaz. And I just don't understand why you don't get it yet.
Hey, okay, so here's the thing. If this was a normal fight, I would be picking Volkanovski. I think he's so much more adaptable. I think his issues are far more fixable than Islam's. I think a lot of the fixes that Volk had for Islam's game are things that are intrinsic to Islam's game. He was able to work on the fence and get himself up. The times when, as the fight progressed, the times when he was having real issues were just him showboating a little bit.
Yeah.
There's that, painful example in round 4 where he gets taken down and he looks over and he starts talking to Islam's corner and Islam just immediately takes his back.
Yeah. But then you get to the end of that fight, 5 rounds are done, and Volk goes, I want to go back in there 5 more rounds straight away. He's like, I know what I need to do. I know exactly what I need to do. That gives me so much confidence that he knows what he needs to do. And can I ask you a serious question? Because
Yeah.
the truth is, when it comes to big fights, and when it comes to these fights, and when it comes to short notice fights, especially 5-round championship ones and that, the reason you back the guy with the training camp is fitness, is in shape, is cardio.
Yeah.
Can you look me in the fucking eyes, Gaz, and you tell me you're actually worried that Volk can't go 5 rounds hard?
I've got zero issues with cardio. I think.
But that's the hardest part.
It's the hardest part. I know.
What are you worried about? His skill, bro?
But you
don't learn skill in training camp, bro. What do you mean? He knows how to fight.
No, all I'm concerned about is, I mean, he is not going to be as physically strong. He won't have been able to like build himself properly into a 155er again.
But he didn't have to do that much last time.
I know, but I'm just coping. Let me.
You really are. I'm like, bro, dude, I'm more confident this time than I was the first time.
Because
he vindicated me the first time so hard, and I'm like, and then he goes, I know what to do. I know exactly what to do. I'm like, cool. Because I agree, like, he definitely would have won the fight decision-wise if he hadn't fucked up that. I admit he fucked up the 4th round. Yeah. Like, I thought he'd still done enough anyway, but I'm like, clearly if he'd just not done that, because it's not like Islam was like beating him up in the 4th round. He just held on to him.
Yeah.
But Volk caused
people
that
argue
to get in that position.
For Volk.
I get it kind of, but also
I don't
like,
agree.
Come on,
I don't agree.
I'm with
but
you.
People do make that argument based on the fact that Islam did nothing and Volk was just hitting him and laughing. Like,
yeah, but then how do you score it for Volk?
No,
you know
I
what
agree.
I mean?
I do agree, but I can understand why. Like, the rules are interpretable, and I can understand why you might look at that and go, well, Islam's not actually.
There's no precedent for it, though. There's just no precedent for it.
No.
So I don't know what anyone's talking about.
Apart from
that's just where
the odd weird judging decision on like an Apex card.
Yeah, but we're not. That's not real. Those are
idiots. That's true. They don't exist.
Yeah. There's no unanimous precedent in any fight at that being the case that I am aware of. So that is what it is. But it's not like Volk couldn't have gotten up of that takedown if he hadn't, talked to that corner, all that sort of shit. Anyway, in fact, I know he would have gotten up. He made a mistake.
Yeah.
He won't do that again.
No.
And I know your main concern was you're like, no, I want him to have a full camp. I don't want him to waste this rematch. In my head, I'm like, I'm not prepared to roll the dice that Islam beats Charles Oliveira in a rematch, or that Volk smushes Ilya. Like, both of those are the likely outcomes, and I think they would rematch, but then timing-wise, injuries, Justin Gaethje's involved. I'm like, does Volk get the rematch? I want to see it. I think everyone wants to see it. I think Dana wants it, but, like, does he want Gaethje more? I don't know. Like, I'm not prepared to roll the dice. I was prepared to take this fight anytime we could get this fight. I don't care if it was short notice. I don't care if it was full camp. I am pumped that this rematch gets to happen. It's the fight that should have happened. Volk did his business. He went back to 45. He defended the belt, smushed him. Now let him get it back. Islam, was off for Ramadan, takes his time, only fights once, twice a year. That's the standard. We know that of Islam. Volk wanted another fight this year. He wasn't going to fit it in. Now he gets it. He had surgery 3 months ago, yes, but he's always training. He trained even while he couldn't throw that hand with the elbow surgery. He was still training, still doing strength conditioning, still doing cardio, still working on the technique he could. He's always training. That's his work ethic. That's what he does. That's who he is. He's one of the great Australians all time. That is our DNA. He is the example, and he sets it. And as soon as he was able to full contact, he was back full contact. And that was, I think, 5-6 weeks ago. He's always in shape. He doesn't need to learn skill. He says he can do it. I fucking believe him.
I believe you can do it, right? My biggest issue with him coming in on 12 days notice is that for me it's strategy. For me it's
But they've already fought, Gaz.
I know they've already fought.
But that's the benefit.
But you don't have Joe Lopez drawing up a game plan and going like, right, this is what we need to do. Let's get 6 weeks to drill this into habit and make this. He's got...
You don't think they watched that tape back immediately after that fight and worked on it?
I'm not saying this. I'm not saying that they haven't thought about it at all. I'm saying it's not
They've
the same.
done more than think
it's
about
not
it.
the
They've
same.
drilled it. They have drilled it. I promise you I promise you Volk went back to the gym the week after that fight and was working on how to fix it. And it wasn't about like preparing for a rematch. It was just about he would have been so fucking pissed off at himself. He would have pounded that shit into the earth and drilled it just purely to spite himself. And he talked about, he just released a video today about leveling up after that fight with Islam. Leveling up after that camp. And we saw it against Jair. Dominated him. Smushed him. Smashed him. And I know we expect that from Volk now, but Jair is so good. So legit. The fact that Volk did that to him is incredible. It's insane. I think he knows what mistakes he made. I think he respects Islam's stand-up more. I think he focuses on it being a stand-up fight, knowing he can get up from the takedowns. I think he does work on the feet. I think it's, I think there's going to be plenty of takedown options. I think Volk does better in this fight. I think Volk finishes Islam.
Dude. Okay, so I
think Volk finishes him in rounds 2 or 3. I think Volk finishes him.
So here's where I'm at, right? Is that when it was announced, I was like, "Oh man, this is the worst thing that's maybe happened ever." Since then, I've had a bit longer to think about it, and I'm like, right, it is what it is. We're not going to get the rematch with a full camp. Both guys aren't going to get a full game, like a full camp to game plan and strategize for each other. Fine, whatever, fuck it. It's happening. I think Volkanovski's more adaptable than Islam by leaps and bounds.
Correct.
I think his corner is elite. I think he himself is an excellent tactician.
Yeah.
And I think...
maybe the greatest.
I would argue the greatest.
Yeah.
For sure. I think there's a good chance that he gets it done. I'm not confident like I would be with a full camp. With a full camp, I would be outright like Volk is going to win this.
Yeah,
my fucking words. I would be like you were in the first fight.
Yeah.
That being said, I think there's a fucking good chance he does. And I also think if it happens, he might finish him. And we've seen, now that we've seen him, with my own eyes, have seen him knock Islam upside the head, drop him, stand him,
pounding his head into the
punches.
fucking dirt, bro.
Yeah. We've seen that happen now, and it makes it so much easier to visualize.
You think Islam forgets that? You think Islam forgets that he was on his ass, getting the piss beaten out of him, and that's the end of the fight? The last seconds he was in the octagon, the last time he was in the octagon with Volk, it ended with him getting pounded to the core of the earth.
Yeah.
I think Islam is mentally tough as shit. I'm sure he's not afraid of Volk.
No.
But when he's in that ring and Volk adapts to Islam will be Islam.
Yeah.
And Volk will not be the same. I think Islam is going to be rattled. I think Volk, can I also throw something at you? 10 days notice. An Aussie on 10 days notice. I don't know if you know this about us, but there's a thing we call fuck it. There's a thing as Aussies like, fuck it. We say it's a rugby leagueism.
Mm-hmm.
And we know the best base for MMA is rugby league, as proven by as proven by Alex Volkanovski and a lot of the Kiwi Aussie boys. And a rugby leagueism is fuck it footy. Fuck it footy is when you're just like, we got nothing to lose. We're the underdog team here. And we just start throwing the fucking ball around, making shit happen out of nothing. And I think Volk's going to fuck it fight. I think this is fuck it fighting. I think he's going to be tactical, but I also think he's going to take a couple risks, especially on the feet.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be way more risks on the feet. Do I think that means Volk could get caught once or twice early in the first round? Yeah, I do. Because Islam is great at stand-up, underrated on the feet. I rate Islam stand-up, but I think Volk's better. I just think in that first fight, they both underestimated each other, in Islam underestimating the wrestling of Volk and Volk underestimated the striking of Islam. That won't be the case this time. I don't think it's possible to submit Volk. Like, I don't think it's humanly possible. So that's out of the question.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just out of the question. The only way Volk gets stopped is like a KO.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening.
I struggle.
I can see and have seen Islam, slept.
Yep.
I've seen him on his ass against Volk. I've seen him dropped by Volk. I think second, third round, Volk's just saying fuck it, and he's just landing shots, and I think he's gonna damage him, bro. And then I think he's gonna land one or two clean ones. I think Islam's getting cut. I think Islam's getting finished second, maybe third round.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna break out of character, and I'm gonna.
Can I also say I think Volk's gonna take him down. I think Volk's gonna get a takedown.
Maybe because he's been training for Charles.
It'll just be in a transition. It'll be situational. It won't be something like shot from the outside or something. It'll be in transition from like some stand up, and Islam won't expect it.
Be something like Usman Leon.
Yeah.
Where
I
he
think
just like
exactly like Usman Leon.
Or something.
Yeah. A little more on purpose than that, but yes.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is, bro. I'm so, like, I am not worried about this at all. I've never felt this way. I have so much, I'm feeling like, fuck it. I'm like, let's just fuck him up. You know what I mean? Like, why not? Fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's just fuck him up. Let's just take him down and knock him out. I don't know why. I'm a vibe operator. And I don't know. I'm not being logical right now. I get it. People listening probably like, this guy's insane. His bias is through the roof. And maybe it is, but I operate on vibe. This is straight up. Like, I've not felt vibe like this in a very long time. And the UFC has been running on vibe at the moment, bro. Sean O'Malley? Sean Strickland? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
You're right.
I'm going to make a Volk pick. I'm going to go with Volk.
Have I convinced you?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Volk by finish.
Fucking oath. I just
like,
this is fuck it stuff. This is just fuck it stuff at the moment. And if anyone can do fuck it stuff, I feel like it's Alex Volkanovski.
Yeah.
He seems so like, I watched this thing today and I was like, he just doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I watched it whilst I was
You're talking about the undisputed champ, the longest reigning undisputed champion right now in the UFC. 4-year title reign.
Yeah.
Way longer than anyone else that's active right now. He's just dominating, pound for pound, number one. And on 10 days' notice, he gets a call up and he just, fuck it. No one has ever done that at that level. Pound for pound, number one, you're a champion. You're the one defending spots. Volk, the reason Volk is so dominant in an era like this, where it's the most competitive it's ever been and it's the hardest to have long reigns than it's ever been, is because Volk's mentality is not defend. I've proven myself. I'm getting chased. He remains the hunter against contenders in his division, against champions in the other division. Even against contenders, he's like, I want that BMF belt. Justin Gaethje seems like a good fight. I'll fight Dustin Poirier. I'm like, fuck me. He doesn't give a fuck.
No.
He doesn't give a fuck. And then he fought Islam, and Islam has his back for a full round, and Volk is laughing at him. Yeah. He doesn't give a fuck, bro. Mm-hmm. He's flying to Abu Dhabi on 10 days' notice. Just had his third daughter, his third child, a month ago. And he's having fucking pounding beers into the earth, having a good time. And he goes, I know I'm pound for pound number one, the undisputed champion of the world, but fuck it. Yeah, I'll fight at Abu Dhabi on 10 days and fight him at 6 a.m. his own local time.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, bro. If the MMA gods reward this shit, they just do. Yeah. They just do. And I feel like it has to happen. It feels like that moment was taken away from us at Perth. That crowd, the walkout, like everything. The fact that he didn't get that victory when he won that fight, like it just, I swallowed it. But this just is like the gods are righting a wrong, a famous wrong. And that's the vibe I'm getting. I'm not stressed. I just have no worries about this.
Yeah. I mean, I'm super stressed. My mind is occupied by nothing but this fight.
Yeah. I'll be stressed watching it, no doubt. But right now, bro, vibing with this. Love it.
You've got to really feel for fucking Sadiq Yusuf and Edson Barboza, because nobody gives a fuck about anything that they're doing all week.
Never heard of them.
I'm a fan of both of those guys, and I was like, oh, this is kind of a cool fight, but it's just with the new UFC 294 on the horizon, it's so meaningless.
Yeah. Next week's huge. Next week's huge for a multitude of reasons. Obviously, the main event changed. Main event now is better than it was before. Way better. Yep. So fucking pumped. Most anticipated rematch I can remember, at least for myself, of all time for me. The only other rematch I have wanted to see this badly is the Nate Diaz Conor McGregor trilogy, which is obviously less now. If it was made now, it would be, I'd be pumped. It's the only fight I want to see for either of those guys. It's the only fight I want to see for either of them. If they only fight each other and then retire, I'd be stoked. But anyway, could have been when Conor was champion. Could have been so many years ago when they were in their prime. Whatever. Anyway, this is the one. The best rematch you can make right now. Alex Volkanovski, Islam Makhachev for the Undisputed Lightweight Championship. Cannot wait. But the co-main event, Khamzat Chimaev was supposed to fight Paulo Costa. Paulo came out last week saying he had a surgery a few weeks ago. So dumb. The most R-worded thing I've ever seen. Knew this was coming. And it has. He's pulled out. They've replaced him with number 1 ranked welterweight. Against number 4 ranked welterweight at middleweight. For the number 1 contender spot for the middleweight title, apparently, according to Dana. Kamaru Usman, Khamzat Chimaev. This 18 months ago was a 5-star welterweight title fight. Now it's just a co-main event. But what a co-main event this is. Khamzat, heavy favourite, -360. Usman, +285. I like those fucking odds.
Yeah, right. That's where I'm at as well. I think...
I'm not a gambling man, guys, but fuck me.
Yeah,
I'm on both of these
underdogs.
Those
odds seem silly,
dude. I mean, I'm putting money right now. I'm not going to do it on the show, but I would put money maybe later. Parlay Volk into Usman, both underdogs.
Yeah,
big underdogs. To me, that's the most likely outcome.
I say, hey, so what we've got to think about is how did Usman look last time against Leon? And whilst I don't think he's as washed as a lot of people are saying, he's not prime Kamaru Usman anymore. That's clear. Something about that head kick changed him. But maybe it was... But I'm also counting on it just being Leon and he has had a bit of time off, and he didn't look bad, and I felt like he got better the longer that fight went on as well against Leon. Yeah. He was better the later it went. I think he's overcome the mountain of Leon. It is the mental mountain. I was gonna say, he lost
twice,
but...
he lost to Leon, but to me, Usman's fight, and I might have said this on the podcast, I certainly feel like I've said it before, maybe it wasn't about Usman, but I feel like it was, is that Usman's fight wasn't necessarily with Leon. No, I was talking about Chris Weidman come back from injury, but it's a similar thing where it's your fight's less with Leon for the belt, and it's more with yourself against Leon, if that makes sense, when you get KO'd like he was.
Yeah, sure.
And though, he lost the fight and didn't win the belt, I felt like, for him, he went in there and went 5 rounds with Leon, with a guy who sent him to the Shadow Realm. That's a big deal. I think he's going to look better than that. I don't think he's going to look prime. This won't be the best he's ever looked. But I still think in the middle quality of the last couple of years of Usman against Khamzat Chimaev, I'd still be picking Usman. I would have picked Usman before Leon fought him. I still want to pick him now.
Yeah.
Obviously, full camp. Khamzat's had that. Built on the weight for middleweight. So there is definitely advantages. I can see why Khamzat's the favourite. It's way less vibey than Volk winning. I'm not feeling the vibe as much. But full camp, I'd back Usman. I'm still leaning Usman. But it's very close. It's 45-55% sort of stuff.
Yeah. I'd probably put it around that. I think I'd.
Whereas I would have been much. Yeah, well, I feel like if both were full camp, I would have said 75 or 70-30.
I would have gone
Usman.
70-30, yeah.
Yeah. What break down this fight for me? What are your feelings, Kamaru Usman, Khamzat Chimaev?
I think the big thing is going to be how they both look on the feet, and I've not been hugely impressed by how Khamzat looks on the feet. He got into a war with Gilbert Burns, which is like fine. Gilbert Burns has like the Henry Hoofed boxing, big overhands, big hooks, kind of just. It's more about getting in your face and swinging than it is about like setups and great like strategic striking.
Yeah.
And Kamaru Usman knocked the fuck out of Gilbert Burns after a tough round. So.
Usman's got heart of a champion, bro.
Yeah,
no doubt about it.
100%. And so it's a question of like, and we also know for a fact that Usman's cardio will hold up. It held 100%. Up perfectly in fucking Salt Lake City, which nobody's cardio holds up in. Everyone wants to kill themselves 2 minutes into the fight. Yeah, like it's insane. I don't think Volk would have that good like Usman level cardio in Salt Lake City.
I think that's a ridiculous thing to say, but
I think he'd slow down. I honest to God think Volk would. I don't think he'd look tired, but I think his activity would start to dwindle as he'd start to feel himself feeling a little bit tired. Like, I think Usman's cardio is unreal. I think Usman's cardio is genuinely unreal.
It's not better than Volk's. I don't know why you make this comparison. Don't know why you're doing this to yourself. I don't know why you're backing yourself into a corner like this. Because it's a ridiculous thing to say. Baseless.
Well, I think it's true. But
it's talking about the Terminator. Volk's never looked tired in his life. He barely sweats.
Yeah, that's true. He does barely sweat.
He looks pretty much the same first round, fifth round. Usman's at least sweating.
I agree with you. I think the Ortega fight, to be honest, I would argue Ortega has a pretty good case for winning that fifth round of Volk. And I think it was just because he was getting in his face and doing more.
I disagree.
No, you don't.
It was his best round.
You do.
It was his best round. I'll give you that.
It was his best round. I've talked to you before, and you've totally been like, yeah, that's a fair score.
I mean, for a fool like you,
sure.
I guess so.
Okay, that's
but
what
I don't
we're
recall saying that ever. So, and you have no evidence.
I can put it up.
No,
I'll send it to you on screen.
It doesn't exist. So you're
leaning
leaning towards Usman.
I'm leaning towards Usman based on. I think it's going to be a tough fight early. I think Khamzat's going to come out. He's probably going to try and take Usman down. If that happens, we might be in trouble because I don't know how much of Usman on the bottom we've seen apart from against Leon, in which point he got his back taken and just defended, which doesn't bode super well.
What would you do if like Khamzat literally just like takes him down and ragdolls him and finishes him in like 30 seconds?
I think I'd go, Usman's probably quite washed, to be honest.
Would you, or would you go? Surely you'd go. Khamzat's gonna kill Sean Strickland.
Oh, I mean, yeah, but I would. I think that's also a similar thing where like Strickland can wrestle. He's not superb at it. Like
he's not better than Usman, bro. He's
no,
not better than Usman at anything.
But is Usman good at being the nail? Is the question that we really need to
You're right. You are right. I think he'll be fine, personally. But I see what you're saying. I mean, he went 2 hard fights with Colby, and he's always stuck in there. That last fight with Leon, like, I think he's got a dog in him. I think he's fine with
agree,
like, getting hit and taking shots and staying in there. I don't think Khamzat's gonna do that. I think it'll be a tight fight. I think it'll be a decision either way. I don't think either of them are gonna finish each other. Not in 3 rounds.
It's 5. It's 5.
Is it really?
It's 5. Yeah.
What the fuck? Are you serious?
No, I'm serious. Yeah, it's 5 rounds.
Since when?
Since it was announced, I'm pretty sure.
But it was only 3 rounds against Paolo, wasn't it?
No. Yeah. It was 3 rounds against Paolo.
But it's 5 rounds now.
It's 5 rounds now. Yeah.
What? Why?
Just vibes, I guess. I think that's the case. Maybe I'm chatting bullshit.
I have not seen that anywhere.
Oh, fucking...
I'll tell you what I need to see. Because this does change it, if it's 5 rounds, actually, for me, a little bit. I do want to see Usman in an interview or something. Because the thing I know about Volk is he wants it. He always wants it. He's not just showing up to be a number. He's showing up to win. Is Usman here to win? I haven't heard him talk. Or is he showing up because he's like, one, definitely inspired by Volk. 100%. You see Volk doing that shit, you're like, I want that. Respect. And then, but is he also just like, fuck it, give me the paycheck, pay me this and I'll come. I don't really care that much. This is middleweight. This is in my division. Like, how much is he? I assume he wants it, but does he want it as much as Khamzat? I know Volk wants it even more than Islam.
Burns put out a little video at Hooft's place, whatever it's called now. It gets a new name every season. Yeah. And before the fight was officially announced and confirmed, he showed Usman doing pad work in the cage. Fast, hard, looked quite good.
Yeah. I'm sure he's been training.
So I'm sure he's been training, but it's just,
no doubt in my mind.
I think he probably heard, "Hey, you're getting Khamzat," and got straight in there.
Yeah, 100%.
That's what it looked like from what Burns was posting.
I love that shit. I'm rooting for Usman.
I'm rooting for Usman too.
I'd love to see it. I just love to see some upsets. Love to see some two legends, two future Hall of Famers in Usman and Volk just come in and absolutely fuck shit up on 10 days notice. Love it. Much respect to both those guys. Much respect to Khamzat and Islam as well. They took the fight. Big risk for them.
Yeah.
So respect, big respect, to all those guys. So looking forward to that. The only other fight worth
actually,
mentioning.
I did want to quickly, just to bounce very briefly back to
I knew you'd do this.
The Volk fight.
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk about the people that turned it down. Because confirmed Gaethje got the offer, said he doesn't want it, which he's done before. I think I'm pretty sure he's had short notice.
I don't think he can make 155 on 10 days notice, bro. I think he's too heavy.
No, I think that's actually why he said no.
Yeah. Most 155ers can't make that weight in 10 days notice if they're not in camp or not training for someone else. Like, you can catch guys that like, oh, Justin Gaethje was training for like a main event in 4 weeks time or 5 weeks time. Then you're like, oh, let's call Gaethje. He'll be able to make it. He's in camp. Where it's like, Volk wasn't in camp, but Volk's a featherweight. So yeah,
but
he can make 55.
they also called Dustin. And Dustin
Dustin
said he could make the weight.
Well, you're taking Volk over
They chose
Dustin,
Volk
though,
over that. Yeah, of course. Then I just think it's probably because he lost his last one.
Yeah,
I think people
but also it's Volk, and I think Dana knows that the Volk fight is a big fight. Like Volk, when Dana White was the president, he was smiling like this is the best possible outcome. Like he's happier this is happening than Charles getting it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think he's buzzing.
I think he's stoked about this. I think he's fucking stoked about this.
Everyone seems to think it's 3 rounds, by the way, that co-main. I've tweeted asking. Everyone seems to think I'm lying through my teeth. So
right.
Ignore that, I guess. That changes my pick a bit.
So you're thinking more Khamzat?
I think I'm probably going Khamzat then, yeah.
Okay. I'm sticking with Usman.
That's
but it's really close. It's like 45-55 sort of shit.
Yeah, it's
very
definitely close.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, the only other sort of fight worth talking about, I guess very briefly, is Ankalaev and Walker are there as well in the sort of feature bout. Sure I don't really give a fuck about this fight at all.
No.
But
it's hard to with light heavyweight
and do you know what? This is UFC 294. Fuck it fighting. I'm picking Johnny Walker. He's going to finish him in the first round. Vibe.
God, I hope
that.
That would be so fun.
It'd be so fun. It'd be hilarious. And I think the MMA gods would love that. I think this is fuck it fighting at its finest.
I think what it comes down to is how does Ankalaev look mentally after pissing away
being
a fight that he should have won against Jan Blachowicz.
Dude, they were handing him the light heavyweight title. There's been the two and now a third light heavyweight champion since then.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to hand it to him, and he's not once been in conversation.
No.
No one's mentioned his name. He's the number 2 ranked light heavyweight. And he wasn't even considered for the vacant title shot. He wasn't even considered for the last fight or the fight before that. Like, come on.
Yeah, he made himself lose. Or not lose, but
yeah.
I think a draw is the correct score. I think.
Yeah, I agree.
A round and a 10-8 round to Ankalaev, 3 rounds to Jan.
Yeah.
And it's like, you've got nobody to blame but yourself, because you could have wrestled earlier. You could have wrestled before your legs were beat to shit, but you didn't do that. And that's been a feature of Ankalaev's career, that he just refuses to use his best weapon that no light heavyweights can wrestle, especially with Glover gone.
Yeah, well, I think Johnny Walker, tell you what Johnny Walker can do, stand up and say, fuck it.
Yeah.
And I think if Ankalaev doesn't wrestle him straight up and learn his lesson. If Ankalaev hasn't learned his lesson by now,
that's what I'm saying.
Fucked. Yeah, fuck it. Fuck it fighting, bro. That's the title of this episode too. UFC 294, fuck it fighting. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Also, in the fucking news cycle this week, it's just outrageous. Unbelievable. Conor McGregor back into the USADA testing pool. USADA announced, and they also said pretty much, well, we hope it's respected the 6 month, before he can return to action, because we're not going to be here next year. End of 2023, USADA's gone. 2024, the Wild West's back, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. People are going to say a lot. Dana's going to try to tell you nothing's changing, even though obviously it is. Mm-hmm. USADA have been good in some ways. They've been shit to fighters in other ways, no doubt about it. They're not without fault. I have preferred them in the sport than out of the sport. Ultimately, my opinion is I don't think we know until we get there what it's going to look like. 6 months into 2024, we're going to know if the Wild West is back or if it's not. The same way you knew 6 months after USADA came in that there were some fighters that, oh my God, they fell off real hard.
Yeah. Yeah, it's...
Johnny Hendricks. Anyway. Sorry, I just got something in my throat.
No, it's interesting to see, because we don't know what's going to happen. And it's like, sure, the UFC might do their own, their own drug testing. But I don't know that I really trust the UFC to send, drug guys out to fucking Russia or, Brazil, I'm sure if you live in Vegas, you'll get tested. But I don't I don't know how much I believe that they're going to send a guy out to Ecuador specifically for Chito Vera,
Yeah, I see
it's
what you're saying.
I just...
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to go with another... outsourced company, or if they're just going to say, fuck it, we can do this ourselves, like every other major sports league. It also comes in the wake of the Mark Hunt lawsuit, in which it was deemed that they didn't do anything wrong by letting Brock Lesnar use drugs.
Yeah,
there's a solid chance that at that point they just said, fuck it, we don't need USADA.
Man, a guy that deserved better, Mark fucking Hunt, to tell you that right now. Legend. A fucking legend of the sport. Anyway. Yeah. There's going to be good things that come from this. There's going to be some negatives that come from this. I'm hoping it'll still be a strict, fair system. I know people are still going to get away with it as they always have. Yeah. Hopefully they still catch some in as well. Yeah. Until then, time will tell. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I mean, I think they're booking Conor whenever the fuck they want. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they're waiting until 300 at this point, to be honest with you anyway.
I think so too. But it's interesting.
300 in March, April?
What is it? 294 now. So we finished the year 295, so May. No, we finished the year 296. So April. Yeah.
Yeah. January's the 297 Toronto card.
Yes.
February, March, April. Yeah, April, UFC 300. I'm like, they will, and that's 6 months really after he comes back in the pool as well. depending on when it is. Yeah, so it's October now. Yeah, it'll be 6 months. So even if like he pissed hot in that time, which USADA said extend your time, like as you get back in, because there's like it's minimum 6 months, could be longer. But the UFC are going to use the excuse of, well, we waited the 6 months even without USADA, so we're still fair, even though, like, they haven't tested him. He could have been doing whatever. He's a billionaire. If there's anyone that can afford to get around it and be on the best shit all time, it's Conor McGregor.
Yeah, 100%.
Do I have a double standard? Maybe yes, because I just want to see Conor fucking win. Imagine him just winning the welterweight and the middleweight title because he's just on all the jewels. You know what I mean? I do have a double standard that I like to see fun shit, and that would be fun shit. But I also don't like cheaters, so I don't want him to be. I understand why he did it for the injury recovery. I got no fucking issue with that. I actually have no issue with that.
No, I think it's the right way to do it, to be honest.
But yeah, he's been out for ages. He better be off it now. He's back in the pool. Yeah, we'll see. But Conor's fighting at 300, I reckon.
I think so.
Probably still be Chandler. I still think it'll be Chandler.
It will be Chandler. Yeah, it totally will be Chandler.
Unless
because the UFC fucking loves Mike
bro. Imagine them getting Nate Diaz back, bro, for that. Because UFC 200 was supposed to be Nate Conor too, and then they made it 202 because Conor didn't show up at a press conference, and that was a whole drama back in 2016 was good. Fuck, that was exciting mixed martial arts. That was some shit, 2016. Anyway, we're in 2023 now. 2024 when 300 happens, and I'd love to see Conor Nate 3 there. Come on, get into me. Because I just don't feel like... Because there'll be other fights in there. I don't feel like Conor Chandler is the like main event worthy for 300. But Conor will main event. It doesn't matter who else is on the card. Conor's the main event any card he's on. Maybe they won't do 300. Maybe Conor won't. Maybe they'll do it like 298, 299. Maybe they just are like... Because they don't want to pay the champions on a Conor card. Because if Conor's fighting, they're not putting titles on. Whereas they'd want to stack 300 with like 3 title fights. So I reckon they won't have Conor.
You're right. It might not be 300 just because
Dana's a fucking scumbag.
They have to stack 300, and they like not stacking Conor cards because
they don't have to pay. There's literally the dirtiest cards.
Yeah.
Where they like budget wise, like it's just everyone's on 10 and 10, 20 and 20 contracts, and then there's Conor. Like, that's the cards. They're pretty bare bones cards every time because of that. Because they give all the money to Conor.
Yeah, and that they're just like, everyone's buying this. We know that everyone is going to buy this Conor card. We do not need to sell it with a co-main. Or with, a stacked main card. Even outside of, like, saving money on the fighters' actual payouts. Like, pay-per-view wise, it's not going to make a difference if fucking, top 5 lightweights are the co-main. Or if it's... Jessica Rai.
I mean, if it's for me, because I mean, in my mind, this is how this plays out. Volk beats Islam, finishes him. He'll be good to go in January, no problem. Ilya Tapura, whatever, easy fucking work. In January, so that'll be Toronto. He'll smush him.
Going.
I mean, I think Volk will be ready to defend the lightweight belt at 300. Who will I want to see? I wouldn't be mad at the trilogy. Like, just him and Islam 3. Fuck it.
No.
But if he finishes him, then I'd say nah. And you'd have him... Can I throw something at you?
Yeah, go on.
Can I be wild?
I think I know what you're going to say, but go for it.
Who do you think I'm going to say?
I'd assume you're going to say Conor Volk for the lightweight belt.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
I get it. Conor, like, last fight, lost it, doesn't last 2 fights. But, like, he's been gone. It's Conor McGregor. It's UFC 300. It's Volk. The only featherweight champions that haven't fought. It settles the featherweight GOAT debate. It's for the 55 belt. Volk is the champion of featherweight and lightweight. Conor is the only other guy that's been a dual champion, and it was at featherweight and lightweight. I don't count the others because they're fraudulent. Whereas, well, DC's isn't, but I see where the debate comes in.
Yeah.
And Henry, I mean, he didn't beat Mighty Mouse anyway, and he won a vacant belt from Marlon Moraes. Fuck off. Like, whatever, bro. That's the most fraud. Like, you're a fraud. You in my eyes, you've never won a belt, to be honest with you. And it's why Aljamain, who's not even a champion, smushed you again. So whatever. Get off my TV. I don't even know what I was saying because I just got onto just bad mouthing Henry Cejudo like I enjoy always doing. Look, fuck it. I think Gaethje would be the way to go. If I'm being honest, you just BMF against the double champ. It'd just be wild. There's like 3 belts involved. You say fuck it. That's probably what should happen. Probably what would happen. But I wouldn't be mad at just fuck it. Give it to Conor.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad.
Only 2 featherweight champions have not fought. Like, there's a story there for both divisions. There's stories. It's wild, the layers there.
Yeah, I would be mad if I was an Islam fan, but I'm not. So I don't care too much about the prospect of him getting passed up for that title.
Yeah, I don't give a
like
shit.
He'll get a rematch without having to fight anyone anyway. It's no stress.
Islam.
Him sitting out is not going to prevent.
But also, just make him fight anyone else and he'd win anyway. So what does it matter?
Well, probably, but like, I don't know, man. We've not seen him fight that many good people yet. He's fought Volk and arguably lost it.
Yeah.
And he smushed Charles Oliveira because Charles did a funny flying knee and got counted.
No, but he was smushing him before then.
He wasn't smushing him though. It was the first round was competitive but clear. It was like, okay, you can't.
I don't know. I mean, I've watched that fight a couple of times. It's been a while, I'll admit, but I don't think it was. I felt, I don't know. I thought Islam was just fucked him up.
But I also think like Charles isn't a good matchup for Islam. I just fundamentally don't think he's a good matchup. I think leg locks and shit.
I rate Charles a lot, and Islam smushed him. I rate Dan Hooker a lot. Islam smushed him. Like,
yeah.
Islam is legit to me. He is legit.
But I am like legitimately interested in seeing how someone like Gaethje does him. I think probably like it's one of those things where if Islam can get
I think Gaethje could beat Islam. I think Dustin could beat Islam.
Yeah.
Like the same way I thought they could both beat Khabib. I still think Dustin was the better chance of beating Khabib, but I mean, I still think Dustin's better than Justin. I still think that. Obviously it's a fight game. They're both super high level, and Justin can obviously beat Dustin. He did.
Yep.
But like 100 times out of 100, Dustin probably wins. 35, Dustin wins. 40, Dustin wins. Oh, sorry, Justin wins. And then I just think Dustin would just edge him more. But like, again, it's day to day, and it's the same way against Islam. Like, I think Islam probably should beat them both, but I could still see days where Justin or Dustin would beat Islam. So I do rate them both very high.
Yeah. My point more is just that I don't think that it's worth it. If you're Islam, I do not think it's worth taking another fight at lightweight.
Yeah, true.
After losing to Volk.
I mean, I'd fight Charles again. I'd just get that done.
Oh, I wouldn't. I honest to God wouldn't, because like the trilogy is the coolest fight. Outside, I don't know if it is not a Volk, and then also like if fucking Conor knocks Volk out, won't happen. If it does,
come on, bro, you're being ridiculous.
Conor versus Islam, like the legacy of that Khabib fight is right there.
It is, you're being silly. You're being silly.
You're being silly to not to take another fight if you were Islam.
I agree with that, but I mean, let's not be silly. Conor's not going to beat Volk.
I know, but I'm just like, all the options.
And
all the possible options.
I'm just saying. I just think that's a silly thing to say. But okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're right. If you're Islam, you want Conor to win. Because I don't want none of that Aussie smoke anymore. Yeah, I don't want any of that. Islam
would fucking kill Conor, to be honest.
Yeah, probably would, to be fair. Yeah.
Like, ugh.
Yeah. I don't think Islam has the same dog in him that Khabib does.
No, he doesn't.
But
he's not as good a fighter. Yeah.
No, he's not. I agree with that. I think he's close. I think he's fucking elite. But I don't think he's as good as Khabib. But he's not ages off or anything.
No, but also Conor is nowhere near the Conor that fought Khabib.
He's nowhere near the Conor. I mean, the Conor that fought Khabib isn't near the Conor that. The best of Conor.
No,
2016 Conor. 2015, 2016 Conor was just like, it was like watching a god. Like, it literally was. Yeah. It was so wild to watch.
Yeah. I mean, I watched it all during lockdown.
Yeah, but you weren't there.
No,
you know what I mean? Like, it's not the same as like watching it back. Like, at the time, bro, when you're watching, you're like, what's going on? What's going on? You want to talk about vibe? Every day was vibe. the whole game was run on vibe. And then I feel like things really got sorted and we became like just such a legit, awesome sport. But now vibe's returning.
Yeah.
So, fuck it fighting is...
It's because USADA's leaving.
Yeah, all aboard fuck it fighting right now. That's all I'm saying. Can't wait for next week. I fight, Volk fight, same date, October 21st. Can't wait.
Do you want to get into your fight a little bit? Like, is there anything that you wanted to talk about with that? Or just leave it until it's done?
I mean, look at the name of this podcast. It's called that for a reason. You know? I have a game plan, but at the end of the day, my only goal is to have fun. This isn't my career. This is a sport I love. This is a sport I'm obsessed with. This is a sport that has given me so much in my life, so much confidence. Like this camp compared to previous, you know, I did a full one for a fight that got pulled out. I'd done 2 practice ones before then with teammates that were in camp. And each time, mentally, the difference has been massive, bigger than the physical. But my physical fitness is the best it's been. My skills the best it's been. I've leveled up so much since that last camp. And that last camp was hell, bro. I couldn't kick for 5 of the 8 weeks of it. I had injuries. Mentally, I was not there. The fight was overwhelming my mind all the time. You know, the making the weight, all the other stresses, how difficult it was physically. It was a lot, and not having the opponent pulling out. Like there was a few other, like it was a lot. There was a lot going on, and I just looking back on it, I was like, it was just a great test and challenge. Because at the end of it, I made weight still, even though I wasn't, you know, all there. I did everything right. I did everything in my control that I could. Left no stone unturned, and I would have shown up to fight even though I had been injured. Whereas this camp, bro, I've just been so much smarter mentally, bro. I just feel so fantastic. I really do. Like I feel so ready and so excited for next week. Like I'm just excited. Like there's no like. I remember even at the start of the year when I almost got a fight and didn't. And not the camp, like it was an earlier one, like in a March card, and I was like, "Fuck, this is hectic." Like, I might actually fight in a card in a few months, and I like wasn't afraid, but you're like there's an adrenaline rush of like, "Holy shit, it's actually happening." This is a bit scary, like it's a bit fuck. This is wild. Yeah. And then by the next time in the next camp, I was like really prepared, but I was like so focused, and it was just the most important thing. It was the biggest deal. Whereas now I'm like, I just feel like I've been there, done that now, and that shit's gone. Like, there's no adrenaline rush thinking about it. There's no, like, nerves. Like, I'm not afraid at all. Like, it's just chill, bro. I'm just chilling. I feel like, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Like, it really is fuck it. I am okay win or loss. I fully expect to win. I think I'm going to fuck this dude up, to be quite frank with you. You know, I think I'm levels above someone that's on their first fight. Like sort of level. And it's this guy's first. All I know is it's his first fight. It's my first fight. But I'm like, I've been around this game a long time and I've been preparing for a long time. And maybe he has too, so I don't know. But I'm okay losing skill for skill if he's just better. But I'm not okay with being in the moment and letting nerves and it being my first fight overwhelm me, where I get nervous and I just rush it and overthink and don't be present and don't fight the way I know I can fight. So my only goal for this fight is to conquer that for me, is to enjoy it. I've given myself permission to have fun. So that's my goal for this fight. My goal for this fight is to have fun. I'm giving myself permission to not be fucking just stressing out about it and get overwhelmed with anxiety. I've always been an anxious guy. And sometimes that fucks with me. Most of the time it doesn't. Most of the time I'm pretty good about it. But this is something that I just feel like I can conquer. This is something I love. This is something I belong here. I love fighting. I love this. Like, there's nothing that's going to happen to me that I'm not prepared for. So I'm just, I feel that I found my mental, you know, my mental reason why. Like, I know why I'm doing this. I've trained martial arts and mixed martial arts for over 8 years. And, you know, when I started, it wasn't about fighting ever. I never even thought, like, I thought about, imagine if I ever fought, that'd be pretty cool. I didn't really think it was possible or realistic that it would ever happen. And then even later down the line, even less so, the older I got, the more it was just about the skill and about the discipline and about the love of the game. And I just love to train and what it does for me mental health wise and for fitness. But man, people that fight, that's crazy. That's such commitment. And I sort of walked away from it, and I was just focusing on marathons and triathlons and running and all that sort of stuff. And just because I love fitness, I love being active. And I sort of walked away from it. And then I went through some pretty hard like life shit and mental health, like depression, to be quite frank, in 2021. And I found the gym I'm at now. I found my team, and I fucking love this team. I've been there over 2 years now. I love this gym. I love my team. I've made so many amazing friends and teammates, and we've just fucking grinded each other. And I knew when I walked into that gym, I was like, I think like I'm not just coming back to train martial arts this time. I'm coming back to fight. And my coach, this is, I've had coaches, and one in particular, especially my old jiu-jitsu coach, he taught me how to be a martial artist. My coach now, he's taught me how to be a fighter. It's different. The discipline, the hard work, and I've earned the respect of all of my coach. I've earned the respect of all my teammates, and I'm a leader in my gym now, and I fucking love it. I've been around it. I've been fully embraced it, and my reason why is no longer when I first sort of joined back. It was a chip on my shoulder, a bit of anger, a bit of like, fuck, let's fucking go for it. Let's do something. But so much time's passed, and all those emotions have gone, that I'm doing it for such different reasons now. My reason to get in there is for my teammates, for my friends and my family that look at me and see how fucking hard I work. Like, I'm a guy that has a full life and a job and a career, but I do this every day still. Every night I fucking get in there and train my ass off. My discipline with diet, how many events. This is my birthday. We all like going out and having dinners and all these things, and still trying to eat good, and not like no fucking birthday cake for me this year. I was like, on my birthday, I was like fat-free yogurt and some blueberries. Like that was the extent of it. You know what I mean? Like that was what I've been. I'm just in the right headspace.
Sure. I'm
just excited. I'm just ready to go. And if I get there and I conquer that fear in myself, well, not fear, because I'm not like, there's literally no fear. I'm not afraid at all. I'm pumped. But like the nerves of the day, the nerves of the moment. If I can conquer that, get in the ring and just be present, find my feet and just do my thing, and I still lose, I'm okay with that. Totally fine with that. Because obviously he was just better skilled than me and had the better game plan, was what it was. That's okay. I can live with that. I can't live with the fact that I'm a better fighter and I got in there and just didn't perform well. That would annoy the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
So my mission is only to fight my fight and have fun and enjoy it and look around and see the friends and family that are there to support me, my teammates that are there in my corner, and love that. Love the moment. Enjoy that. And I think I'll fight better if I do feel that way. If I can conquer it, I'm just going to fight better and give myself the best chance to win as well, which I know I can, and I expect that I will. So,
sure.
I'm not training to be a world champion. I'm not training to even be a professional. I'm training to challenge myself. And just by getting here, man, I've got nothing to prove to myself anymore. I used to. When I came back and all the training camps, I had all these things to prove to myself. I'm going into this fight in my head. I'm like, I don't have any of that anymore. I've proven everything I need to. I've earned all the respect from everyone that matters. So for me, this is just about representing them and being the man that they all look at me as. And I've finally been able to find that in myself. Like, for the first time in my life. Like, really see yourself the way the people that matter to you see you. Because we are who we are in our own heads, and it's hard for us to see ourselves any other way. But when you look at the people you care about and you talk to them and you really listen, you can see how they see you, or get a window into it. And, if it makes you proud of how they see you, then use that pride and be that person. Because if they think you are and you respect them and love them the way you do, then obviously you are. So be that person. So that's the mindset I'm at the moment. Like, I've had a lot of mental clarity lately. I've been training mental stuff too, and that's where I've gotten to. That's my mindset. Is like, I'm the fucking man. Like, I've nothing to prove. I have such amazing family, friends, loved ones, teammates. I got this. I work my ass off. I'm the hardest worker I know. I've got this. Let's go. That's where I'm at.
Do you do anything specifically for mental, or is it just sort of like self-love,
I meditate. I do a lot of meditation. I do a lot of visualizing, but I also do a lot of self-talk, like even out loud. Even like I'll go for runs. Like on Sunday I went for a big run, and I'll talk to myself through the run, and I'll get in my head and I'll just talk through stuff. And then after the run, I just like, this wasn't even planned. Like I just started talking out loud to myself and was just in the zone. I had the right music sort of playing that whole run. I killed the run. I was just feeling good. And I was just like thinking about all the, you know, my reasons why. Cause I've been trying to find it this camp because I don't have like this anger or anything to access that I, you know, have always sort of had in my life. Like I just feel like I've overcome that the older I've gotten. And just like, yeah, getting that clarity and getting to that place where like I do this for, it's all love, you know? And I'm very proud of who I am as a person. So, and I think that's really important to be and to celebrate and to recognize. So, and just even saying that to yourself, looking yourself in the mirror and being able to talk and be like, and think and feel like vibe yourself in the moment and visualizing the moment you want to happen. I do a lot of that. Especially at the moment, because I don't think it's healthy to do every day all the time in life. Maybe it is. Fuck, I'm not like that. I get over myself, but but you know, when you're in fight camp, it's necessary, so I'm okay with it. But once it's over, I'm telling you what, my friends don't give a fuck that I can fight. They will give me the most relentless shit all time. So, you know, I'll come down real fast. No doubt
I'm
about
sure.
it.
I will say, I remember your last fight camp, and I mentioned to you that I was quite stressed about it.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm nervous, and I don't think it's because you're going to lose. I'm just nervous. I'm not nervous this time at all. Yeah. I don't feel. I just think I have it in my head like, oh, he's fine.
Yeah.
I think I knew.
Jared said that to me the other day too. He didn't say he was stressed last time, but he's like, I'm not stressed. I know you're going to be fine. He's like, even if you lose, like, I know you'll be fine. You belong there.
But I just don't think you are going to lose.
No, neither do I.
Not to put, you know, unnecessary pressure. But like, I don't know. I think I knew everything that you were going through last camp. I knew
it was a lot. It was a lot.
You know, just constantly fucking injured. And,
it was a lot,
And like the guy pulling out, and then the guy coming in, and then that guy pulling out, and it changing sports, and just the, you know.
Yeah, it was going to be a boxing fight in the last week because one opponent pulled out. They found a guy that wanted a box. I was like, fuck it, I just want to fight. I don't give a fuck who it is.
Yeah.
And that's my mindset now too, but even more. Like, people keep asking me, who you're fighting? Like, do you know anything? I'm like, I don't care. Could give a fuck who it is. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Is there a stream at all? I don't imagine there will be.
I don't know for this one. Normally the fight shows we fight at are.
Yeah.
I don't know if this one does. I'll find out, but I'm gonna have friends there that will film it, so there'll be footage and hopefully.
Yeah. No, of course. It'd just be good to check.
It'd be nice. 100%. I'd love that. But I've been playing pretty low key. I was very public last time, and I wanted it to be a big thing, but sort of now I'm like, this is just what I do at the end of the day. I'll fight again, and people.
It just popped up after holiday, didn't it? It's quite like last time you had a lot of like prep, whereas this time
it was a full 8
weeks,
and I knew it was sort of coming before the camp started too.
Yeah.
Whereas this was like a 5.5, 6 week camp that I sort of found out about, and then technically it started the day I was like, oh, okay. So pretty much as soon as I go back from Hawaii. So it's been pretty full on. Like, I go back from holidays, which I desperately needed, and then work's been insanely busy, and then I've just been in fight camp pretty much as soon as I go back. So I'm already fucking burnt out, ready to fucking go on another holiday. But I'm just keen to get through this, and then I just want to eat some fucking delicious cheesecake and sweets and food and chicken wings and fucking pancakes. I want to eat croissants. I want to eat fucking... Yeah, I want to eat a lot of cake, no doubt about it. I want to eat a lot of cake. I want to eat burgers, fries. Oh, there's so many things I want to just devour. I probably won't do all of those, but certainly cheesecake will be on there. Certainly wings will be on there. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
And there'll be a burger or two. Pizza. Oh, would love a pizza. Yeah, I like. There's just the thing I get excited about more than anything is like I'm just pumped that I get to fight, I'll have a blast, and then I'm going to get on the piss that night, have some drinks, have fun with my friends and celebrate. The next morning I wake up, watch Volk become double champ, and then I eat wings. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be a great weekend.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great weekend. Regardless of what happens, Volk doesn't win. Great life. Volk's a legend, Hall of Famer. It's just amazing that we got to watch, what will be a great fight either way it goes. Win, lose for me as well. Like, what my life goes on. I'm back in the gym Monday anyway. Like, whatever. There's more important things in life than wins and losses. So I'm just like, I'm in a real fucking mood. This whole podcast is just fucking fighting.
Great. Next time I hear your voice, you'll have had your fight.
Yep.
Volk will be double champ.
That's true. And then we'll be back here to talk about it the following week.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Yeah. Amazing. Well, let's wrap this up. Switching stances. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching, for listening to this episode of the podcast. Be sure to rate us on podcast services. Give us 5 stars if you're on Apple, or like it, I guess. On Spotify, like this video on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we'll be back. Aim for next week to recap UFC 294, Islam Makhachev defending the lightweight championship against Alexander Volkanovski 2, the sequel, the rematch on 10 days notice. Let's get it. Volk. And then I'll also recap you on my fight, and I'm sure have the video for it and show it. And if it's just, I just get me getting just fucking KO'd, then I'll probably just show it in the podcast and we'll just try to forget about it. But we'll have a laugh either way. Doesn't really matter. Life goes on. Excited. Can't wait. See you all then. Thanks, guys, for joining me. Thank you, everyone, for being here. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.